Improbability Stream. Live from the Burned Over District.
This is season 2 of the Bill Mullane Show, and I've recorded a different intro probably 3 times to this, sporadically when I have time. Look, I'll just explain real quick for those of you who may have listened to season 1, which was kind of ridiculous, but a lot of fun. And those of you who have know that I started it by following my excitement and passion in life, right? And then you look at this and go, what the... If you listen, then you're probably still confused because my passions seemingly jump all over the place, from music to, randomly meditating, teaching you how to meditate, taking meditations advice from me. Hey, come on. So I was like, all right, let's trim some things down, trim the fat, and turn this into something more coherent. And as I doom scroll endlessly on social media, I'm sure you've all noticed an influx of people constantly doing exactly this. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid. I probably am, but I would think man, I really love, whenever I would try and boil down things I love to do in life, it turns into it's this. It's walk around and talk. Years ago, I set up a camcorder. This is how many years ago. And I filmed these stand-up comedy specials, and I don't know how funny they were because my brand of comedy is probably ridiculous. There's long stories, and they have well, if you pay attention, there's something funny in there. But I'm not a fucking comedian, But I record it because I wanted to just kind of march and pace around and talk, and so I sat baffled for many years. I play music, but I'm not good. I think I can boast. If you listen to the Bill Mullane Show season 1, I can write a song. I got awesome song ideas. I can't, I play a little guitar. I play drums. I can't sing for shit, but I do it anyway because I love doing it. And, people will go, why don't you just sell the lyrics then, Bill? Well, there ain't anybody out there who's going to look at my lyrics and go, yeah, I want to sing that. So I was just always stuck doing it myself, And here I am rambling, though. I'm going to try not to just ramble. Try and give episodes an actual coherent theme, although that theme will probably jump around, like House of Pain. So my older fans might get that reference. I'll probably hit an edit in here while I continue to think about... no, because I'm titling this episode... something like Ain't Nuttin on Jeffrey Epstein, and I don't want to just jump on something hot and political, and hot's probably the wrong word to use for that situation, but something topical. But it's really got. I first heard of. I'll just get into it. So who am I? That's one of the things that happens. I scroll on social media and I see all these people, and since that case in particular. People, you have no idea who these people are. Just randomly, why the fuck do I want to hear this guy's point of view? Who are you? So check it out. Jeffrey Epstein's been raping kids. Yeah, but I don't need 500,000 different random schmucks in their random room somewhere informing me about the news. But apparently, people watch that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Is maybe I'm just an idiot and it's taking me this long to realize that people are doing this. Just walking around talking, my passion for the last 25 years. So, so that's just, I guess, why I decided to go to video on the Bill Mullane Show here, at least for part of it. I do have a little tune I actually put together over the last several months. It didn't take me that long. It's a real short one that I will put in at the end. And I'm not going to play it live for you, so I'll just put some graphics in here or something like that. I don't know. I'll do something. Playing with video has always been kind of fun. And another reason doing video was never exactly what I was thinking I was going to do is because I have hyperhidrosis. So if you see me doing this sometimes and stuff, is I'm wiping sweat away. I'm a disgusting, sweaty animal. It's horrendous. I don't want to subject people to that. So I decided to hide in the shadows last year. But I'm out here for you. And I originally thought too, well, you know what I could do is I just need to relax and be myself, which was always kind of what this podcast, whatever, was predicated on, was the idea of me doing what I do, walk around talking. But in order to do that, I need to be 100% authentic me. But you start recording and it changes. And I know you might be thinking from the things you've heard, like, that's not you being you. Like, it's got to be because it's odd. But no, there's still, like right now I'm doing it. This isn't how I naturally talk. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I should put up a camera while I'm in the shower. Because that is absolutely 100% what I'm trying to capture. Me in the shower, just fucking rapping at you, talking and going. Oh man, I'm making people cracking them up in there, man. Are you kidding me? It's nuts. And so I was thinking about doing that, and then I go, well, no. Because I know me, and it's just a matter of time before the camera starts teetering down a little more, and until pretty soon I'm just on OnlyFans. You know, I'll give you $500, shove a bottle of shampoo up your ass, and tell me that you miss your father. No, that's dark. That'll get dark real fast. Let's not do that. If we're gonna go dark, this is the big thing with Epstein, man. Is if it wasn't for how just disturbing and heinous everything that these people were involved in. If it wasn't so heinous, it'd be absolutely hilarious. You'd be laughing your ass off. There's still a lot to laugh at with it, but I first heard Jeffrey Epstein's name in 2002, 3, somewhere around there, sometime shortly after 9/11. And the reason for that being, I was 16 years old when 9/11 happened. And I may have talked about this a little on the show before, but what happened at that time was I'd also read a book by the late William Cooper, who wrote a book called Behold the Pale Horse, that dives deep into a lot of conspiracies, and he predicted 9/11 in like June of that year, and he was murdered in like November of that year. The news called him a radical militia or something, and I'm like, yeah, no. So then shortly after 9/11, once we were like, once the Bush administration was like, yeah, this is Osama bin Laden. I'm like, all right, this guy in Saudi Arabia, let's go to Saudi Arabia. Then like it's like a month later, and they're going after Saddam Hussein and Iraq, and I'm going. None of it made sense. Now I was only 16, so I probably missed a lot of shit, or at least some of whatever the story was there. But the point was, I dove pretty deep into conspiracy theories for a long time. I was into that shit. I'm the type of person who, I don't know, I like to be different. And William Cooper, I think, in Behold the Pale Horses was the first time I heard the word sheep, So when I was a teenager in my 20s, I took pride in not being like one of the sheep. Like, I know shit that's really going on out there, And it was like fun to know that stuff. I didn't necessarily believe every single thing I read, but a lot of the stuff around 9/11 and then going way back before that, and there's a lot of stuff that's pretty undeniable, and there's a lot of I'm not diving into conspiracy theories, but I got over that shit. I got a whole different look on that type of stuff nowadays. But what happened too, I guess, is as I was studying that stuff, you find out, okay, everything leads to the skull and bones and the Freemasons and George Bush is jerking off inside of coffins, and like it's nuts. And you go, and the Illuminati, obviously. So you go to, well, what is it that these people know? That's what I ended up trying to really dig into and find out, right? Thankfully, that led me to well, a channeled entity named Bashar that really I credit for saving a lot of my life, because that's the reason I'm happy here today. I didn't keep going down that conspiracy rabbit hole. But while you're going through that stuff and you're looking into it, you find out what they know is, knowing that they create their own reality, and they know that the only power they have over us is by convincing us that they have power. If you believe them, then you do. You're giving over your power to them. They understand this. That's what all the crazy cabal shit really comes down to. They understand that. And then, of course, these are people who understand that and are also negatively oriented. So they like to dominate and have power and control, and they know they can because it's a very simple thing to do when you know how reality works. So during all that stuff, though, I had no idea who Jeffrey Epstein was. His name would come up all the time, though. It was always like, this stuff was connected to Jeffrey Epstein, and I wouldn't mention him much to people when I would talk about different conspiracies because nobody knew who he was in 2003 or whatever. Nobody I ever spoke to knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. And so whatever, fast forward, 2016 comes around, 2015 really, I guess. I was a big Bernie supporter. By the way, I'm the Epstein list when it comes out, the Epstein list, and everybody but Bernie. But I was a big Bernie supporter, and when he got screwed out of the ticket, I kind of was just and especially once Trump was elected, it was just whatever. I'm not gonna waste any more time arguing with people on social media about this fucking guy. And it's still shocking. Like, there's nothing that Donald Trump does it will ever shock me, because I've always assumed since way back in the day that the guy is a piece of shit. And I hate, I don't like even like insulting people, even someone as horrendous as that guy. I don't like just talking shit and insulting people, but like it goes into like what I never understood. Back in the 90s, there was these commercials, right? They were real popular. Everybody, if you're my age or older, you remember them. There's these salsa commercials. I don't remember El Paso or whatever one of them. They're not a sponsor of this show, so we'll drop them. But it would be a couple of cowboys sitting around like in the middle of the desert somewhere and fucking having a fire or whatever, and they're all sharing, tortilla chips and salsa. Why? I don't know. Why are you eating salsa around a campfire? But anyway, they'd be sitting there and eating salsa, and then they're all like, talking about how good natural the salsa is. Good salsa. And then they'd all go, oh, let's look at it. And they look at the jar and go, where's it made? New York City. Remember that? So that commercial, right? That's like, the representation of the heart of America. It's the hard-working, tough American Joe, and he's doesn't want to be affiliated with the corporate horrendous liberalism and hedonism and crazy corporate greed going on in New York City. Donald Trump is the embodiment of that, and he was that. He was New York City. My whole life growing up, I would see the guy. I never took him very seriously, but anytime you'd see him, this is that's the poster boy for corporate greed. There he goes, the Golden Tower guy. The greasy salesman dude you would never trust in your life. And anyway, so later on when he started running, what I'm getting at with that was what baffled me the most and still baffles me is how older people fell for this guy. I can understand maybe some people who weren't as familiar with him or only knew him from like The Apprentice as like this tough boss guy or something. Okay, maybe and you're a young conservative, so your mind's probably a little screwy and your empathy is probably not so great anyway. So okay, I can see it. I can at least see it. But anybody that, anyone that's of my age or older, like I said, it's astonishing, and it still shocks me. And it was like, I guess maybe people in the Midwest and all throughout the country, I guess, never heard of him back then, or like they only knew him very vaguely. I guess, I don't know. But my disdain for the guy didn't really start so much until probably like 2005 or so when with The Apprentice. I had a girlfriend at the time, my first serious girlfriend. We dated for like 4 or 5 years or whatever. I don't remember if she was a big fan of that show or not, but she was a big fan of reality shows, and they blew up at that time, if you remember. For Love or Money and The Bachelor and all that shit. I couldn't stand any of them, right? But that one in particular, I couldn't stand Trump. I mean, what a egotistical, just, now I'm kind of a anti-authority, or was then at that time, and I'm not going to do it. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck it, so maybe that played into it too. But either way, this you knew this wasn't a good guy, whether it was on The Apprentice or just knowing him, anything about him throughout his life. And when he started running for president, I would tell people, obviously I wasn't the only one. A lot of us told the mega cultists that they've become, this guy's a sex addict. Now, I had it wrong. I'll admit I was wrong about something. I thought for all those years that Donald Trump was a complete sex addict, and that he was generally, interested in sleeping with, the all-American blonde with the big tits and all that stuff, the very superficial, not to insult any blondes out there with big breasts. I know I got a trove of them who listen to the show, but there's I always figured he was really, that was most of his attraction, and that he definitely, graped kids with Jeffrey Epstein and stuff, just because when you're a sex addict, you got to just take it further and further and further. And a billionaire who never did any drugs, it was. I remember seeing a guy who said that he would party with Trump, and while people were doing blow and getting drunk and all this stuff, he'd just be in and out of the rooms with different women. It's like, imagine that. And I've known some other sex addicts multiple times in a night. Is that, I don't know. You can drop a comment. Let me know if you're a sex addict and if that's common for it. But anyway, I don't have, I can't grow a beard, man. I don't have that much testosterone. I can't go several times a night. Maybe I did years and years ago once. Anyway, the point of that is not anything I just said there, but that I had it wrong. I believe now that he's primarily attracted to children. He's a pedophile. That's what a pedophile would be. And, I don't like to throw that word because I've, you can admit you've seen women who may be younger and you go, oh my goodness, no, a girl looks like she's 20 or something. This is a developed younger woman. And then, not every guy who's ever had that thought can be considered that. But someone who's attracted to children, clearly. And I now believe that that's what we have sitting in the Oval Office, man. That is disturbing. It's apparent to me that this had to happen. I like to think, imagine if Bernie got in, or just, how much nicer the world would be. Not necessarily, but, the lack of chaos and corruption that's going on is just unprecedented, man. And I think it's necessary because what we're heading toward is eventually, and this, I hope I don't lose you here, but eventually we're supposed to be heading toward open contact with other beings that have been here for years and years. And we can dive more into that on this show as time goes on, but I've already chewed up a bunch talking about, Epstein and Trump. And it's one thing too here, I got to be careful. I'm trying to keep my voice down a little. We moved back in May, and new house is much nicer. It's huge. It's bigger than my old place, but nice house. And but the yard, man, I got neighbors again. I didn't have neighbors for a while. I like that. I like the seclusion to do my deeds. But yeah. So now I'm like, man, and I got the windows open here because I'm in the only room in the house that doesn't have air conditioning. This is like the sunroom. So you go, why are you in there? But I'm a single dad. If you don't know that, my kids, being occupied, she's watching media, consuming the news in the other room. No, she's playing video games with her cousin, which actually launches me back into why what this point is about. Because I'm not going to name the guy, obviously, but my cousin, big Trump guy. Big MAGA guy. And this one incident years ago, back when Trump was first running, really speaks volumes to what I think the MAGA cult, what the problem is there, and how these people, because first and foremost, most Trump supporters, I believe, are genuinely in their heart. They believe they're a good person, and they're trying to be a good person. They want the same things we all want, man. Peace and, to live a prosperous life where you earn and move forward. And obviously we can get into the whole conservative values that unfortunately are just so tied to tradition that it becomes a refusal to change, which is just never going to work out because change is a constant. It's a law of the universe. So, they're fighting an uphill battle. They're never going to win. But anyway, this guy's. I think this one situation really shows what the mental state is of these people who vote or who are loyal to an insanely crooked P3DO, right? Again, this is about Bernie too, because in like 2015 or something like that, I was having a discussion with my cousin. We were talking about politics, and I was making a couple points for Bernie while he was talking about Trump, and he went there was something at that time, and you had and the far right was trying to paint Bernie as some sort of crooked, greedy guy that's just raking in dollars while he lies to you, And so he goes, he's like, what's Bernie's real net worth? Let's check that out or something. And he flips open his phone, and he's looking at it. He's like, yeah. And he goes, oh yeah, bro, they're burying that shit. You can't even find it. Like it's some crazy conspiracy to hide Bernie Sanders' net worth, right? I'm like, I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and then he just changes the subject and like blah 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 and takes off. And I'm like, well, wait a second. I'm like, there's no fucking way that's possible, So I go and I check out and I look it up myself, and it's first search result under I don't know what keywords he put in. I put in Bernie Sanders net worth, and it was $5 million or something. That's like, yeah, he's got a few $1 million, right? Of course, you can't run for president without some money, and at least not on any serious platform and get real consideration. And of course, he's been a lifelong politician. I mean, yeah. And know the guy's got some money. He's nowhere near a fucking billionaire, but yeah, he's not struggling. So a very modest kind of money for a millionaire, like a $5 million net worth or something like that. I'm like, anyway, the point of this is not an argument with my cousin. I never even really went much further into it with him about any of that. The point is the mental process that he took, the approach he took to that. So adamantly wanting to see something crooked about the guy he, doesn't like because he's a communist, whatever the bullshit was they said about him. And to not want to look into anything and to actually, I didn't look at his phone. Maybe he never even typed in any keywords. Bernie Sanders net worth. Maybe he didn't even bother with that. I don't know. But the point is, these people hear what they want to hear. They see what they want to see. This is like with Epstein. And how many times are you hearing, well, Bill Clinton's in there? Like, oh, they're really going to get it to you. Like people like me, I'm an independent. I'm even, as far as politically, I'm registered independent. I'm not a Democrat, a corporate Democrat. These people are crooked as shit. And I'm sure there's plenty of Democrats in the Epstein files. And I'm sure Bill Clinton's in there. And he should go to prison. Like, if he's on tape having sex with minors and he's part of this, send him away. And I wouldn't be surprised. He was a little too charismatic. It's kind of disappointing just because he played the saxophone. I did not in hell. It was kind of like, I don't want this guy to be cool, but he's doing these diddling kids. No, well, fuck him, dude. Throw him in fucking prison, man. I don't give a shit. And that's the thing. It's like, they keep coming back with this, well, what about Bill Clinton? And dude, I don't care. Let him and Trump share a cell. The fuck? Well, no, don't. No, they should both be getting their own comeuppance with bigger prisoners who dislike their kind, So anyway, Yeah, that really showed me, though, how Trump supporters, how it was possible. It's because I knew what Trump was doing, and it pissed me off because this was part of the reason. Well, I mean, it didn't so much because of when it happened in 2015. Had he been running on the same ideas, exploiting the conspiracy theorists, I don't think I ever would have fell for Trump because I already didn't like him. And I already saw him as part of the problem. Like, this is one major point. One I'll probably snip out to try and promote the show. Because the point I used to make all the time was when he started running on drain the swamp, right? I would tell people all the time, dude, or gal, no, say that, but anyway, I would say, look, yes, drain the swamp. Washington is full of crooked perverts. We know this. Washington is full of corruption. Let's drain the swamp. I'm all down for it. And then you're going to hoist up Donald Trump as the guy to do this? I would say, dude, he's an outsider. He's not a politician. He's building towers in New York City. You fucking idiot. You don't think he's dealing with politicians? And not just that. What makes politicians crooked? It's the money, right? It's money. It's businesses buying them off, paying them off. It's billionaires paying them off, right? That's like at least one open thing we can all agree is a sign of, is a symptom of corruption, is when you're paying off politicians. Who do you think the politicians are being paid off by? It's guys like Donald Trump. If you want to end corruption in Washington, you don't go up the rungs of corruption to the crooked billionaire who's paying them off and making them corrupt. And it was, so my fascination with MAGA started with that because it can make that point, and yet it's just, they don't hear it. They don't see it. And that's, I mean, I'm not saying anything new here. I think people understand that, but my experience with my cousin looking up Bernie Sanders, it was just so in front of my face, like, really? What are you doing? Like, okay, you can disagree on policy things and stuff like that, whatever, when it comes to politics, but at least be open to listening and learning something. And I don't want to gloat because now it's finally all coming to light and people are seeing it. So I'm not going to sit there and gloat about it or anything. I'll just add that I do believe that all of this shit is the explosion of our government that we needed. Because what happens here is as the cycles of the planet are revolving every 40 years, really, and then you have larger cycles outside of that. And as everything's evolving and growing and cycling, you are flushing out old methods, old negative beliefs. And when the closer and closer you get to living in a positive manner and reflecting positive vibes into the world and creating a positive life for yourself, the more negativity you're going to see bubble to the surface because it has to cycle out and explode out in order to change. So I think this could be the last president of the United States. Now, I know that might sound nuts to some people. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't anymore. Maybe for once, I'm going to start making claims that don't sound nuts. Because if I never would have claimed George Bush Jr. was the last president ever, because it was so like in the midst of buried stuff. Nobody believed you back then about all the corruption and stuff, or at least the deep, P3DO rings. I don't know if I have to say that or not. Is YouTube gonna get rid of it if I use the actual words? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just copying like that one Democrat kid on Facebook I see all the time who uses a P3DO and whatever, grapist. I get it. So, you know what I'm saying. And have I said anything worthwhile here? Have I said anything? I think I got to go soon. I've been talking for 31 minutes. And this is probably going to get chewed down to like 20 or something. But I wanted to come back, man. Keep doing the show. Keep walking around talking. Today, I'm talking about this because it's the day I happen to have time to record. And it's kind of in the news a little bit. And it's disgusting, though, man. And I do urge anyone listening to, it's tough because this goes into ideas of understanding that I have a belief that you don't ever really change the world you're on. What you do is you change yourself. And as you change yourself and raise your vibration, you become more in alignment with the world that already exists, that is reflective of your new belief system. So this horrible, corrupt world with Donald Trump running around secrets and all the abuse and everything, essaying, that's another one, right? All of that stuff going on in government, everything like that, that all exists right here, right now, and we're all experiencing that collective agreement, that world. But as you change yourself and as we change together, we will all experience a world in which we are all experiencing a much more peaceful, and that could be drastic. This happens in steps, but I'm not going to go deeper into that. Like I said, I got a lot of subjects to cover, man. A lot of things I'd love to talk about. I'm going to try and figure out a way to organize them. So that's what I'm doing. Today I tried to focus this mostly on one subject, talking politics. It's not politics. It's not. We're not talking politics anymore. That's just complete corruption in government. It's the most corrupt administration we've ever seen. Complete corruption in government. We're not even we're not even talking politics really anymore, because it's not like we're discussing foreign policy or even immigration. I mean, this guy is a nightmare on everything he's doing, and of course, that's why I was going to urge people to whatever outlets you have to donate to people, or to cast your vote for something, or to make yourself heard in a poll, or whatever you think might help propel that positive change within yourself, or what you might perceive as within the world around you. Do it. Do it now. Now is an important time to begin taking action in steps that you want to see in your world, because it's exploding, man. It's finally bubbled to the surface and overflowing, and we're finally reaching that place, that point where we can finally change and turn around. And with that, I think that's kind of a nice note to end on. I might have something else after this, after I cut this together. Like I did promise you, though, a little song that I'm going to fade this video into. This is something I put together. Speaking of change, I was an alcoholic for many years. Okay, not walking around slopped up, falling around, but I had high tolerance, and I would drink beer every day, just about for 20 years. 26 really. There were breaks here and there, but anyway, this song I believe is about alcoholism. I don't know for sure. It definitely is now, but when you write a song, or when I write a song, I'm not actually writing. I'm not writing it. You sit down and it just comes through. It's channeled out of like the ether somewhere. All songs exist somewhere. So that's why interpreting songs is like, you can sit down and intentionally write a song, and some people can do that very well. I've done it to finish verses and different things, but the core of a song, the idea of a song and how it comes through is generally, it's just what's that? Okay, you just start singing it. Unfortunately for me, I'm singing it, poorly. So this one is not, I don't think, poorly done with the vocals, because I'm not really singing. It's more like some kind of weird slam poetry. It's like Def Jam or something. It's like a slam poetry thing about alcoholism, as far as I can tell. And I gave it a name. Here you go. This is called 2 Fingers, 1 Drink. Take 3.
Well, the birds chirping, so oh my God, I'm burping. I don't know what to do no more. The darkness lurking over me, taking me over and throwing me over the curtains. So yeah, I'm hurting, I'm shaking, 'cause I'm breaking in the morning when I'm waking. I'm just thanking the Lord I ain't been taken over yet, that I ain't been dragged on down to the depths of hell, where I know that I'm going for all of eternity. But how did I do this to me? hiding down inside of me. A monster I don't wanna be. But it's like I've been chasing them, erasing them, escaping them, racing them, anything but facing them, drowning them out for years and years. Cheers, just 'cause the birds are chirping. So, oh my God, I'm burping. I don't know what to do no more. The darkness lurking.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that little ditty. I think it was fun. I think it was good. I decided to come back in. Well, you know what I did? I said what I introduced the song, and then I just sat there for a second and said, you know what? I'll wrap it up. I'll edit this later. I'm a genius. So, that's it, people. I feel like I got some things off my chest, at least about those things. Nothing, I don't think anything new here. Maybe. What's the latest? The latest news on what the show was about here, the scandal. The latest thing that I read was Pam Bondi apparently directed hundreds of FBI agents to comb through the Epstein files real fast and flag anything that had to do with Donald Trump. Nothing suspicious there. Just don't talk about this hoax, people. You know, that fucking guy, man. It's incredible. It really is. If anybody buys that and starts falling for that, man, I mean, that's just a whole different brand of ignorance, of cult worship. I mean, I can't imagine that, like, even David Koresh or somebody like that could have told everybody, like, you're stupid, and then they all would still drink the Kool-Aid. Like, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know, man. It's really, really something to see, and I'm staying positive about it, folks. Let's end this on a positive note. Like I said, be the change you wish to see. I think I coined that, right? Nobody else ever said that, did they? Why don't you like, comment, and subscribe to this show? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever heard that quote before. I don't know. I think it's unbelievable. I made that up on the spot, just like that. Be the change you want to see, people. And enjoy the ride. Right now, show your support for, I don't know, I think this is the end of the political system, to be honest, at least the way we know it. So I wouldn't say go out and start to run blue and support, but show your support for kicking this pedophile or P3DO piece of shit, P3DO POS out of there. I mean, my God, that guy needs to be gone. And I believe he will be, at least before 2027. And we will see. Onward and upward. We will talk about little bits of what's to come in 2027, I think, on this show quite a bit as I scoot along and make more episodes. This is the beginning of Season 2. I'm thinking of keeping this a video going forward. If you really hate seeing my face, you can let me know that, too. I'm thinking I'm going to have guests on, too, though. I had my brother, we recorded some audio for an episode. I might try and work that into next week's. I was trying to work it into this week. It was, initially. But a lot of things have changed. I'm writing a horror novel following what I love to do, man. And that's one of the things that's taken up a lot of time and why it's been 6 months since the end of the last season. Because I've been working on a novel, and that takes up a lot of time. So it's called Snowdrifter, and I do look forward to that coming out. I will be talking to you much more about that, especially if you're interested, especially as October approaches and Halloween comes nearby. Man, I can't wait. I hate to rush past the moment, but as I've aged, man, I'm not really that much of a summer guy anymore. I'm very much football, Halloween. Let's go, baby. Cool weather. Can't wait. But I can wait. I can learn to live in the moment, stay here, stay present. You do the same, and follow the show, man. Subscribe. I hope. And we'll see how this came out, man. Maybe I'll work a couple other things in after this. Maybe I won't. Either way, I think I'm gonna keep it video. So I will see you next week.